and the camera's on now, so.
So do I don't have to do the audio?
You can just, yeah, you're all good. It's
okay.
going now.
Okay.
And so, yeah, you can just ask. I wrote them down because I knew what Jen was talking about, but if you don't, you can just ask me to clarify.
Ask some clarifying questions, or feel free to go off the script,
Yeah. Actually, if you want to ask, if you have any questions, you want to ask.
Okay. Are we rolling?
Yeah, we're rolling.
I think we're rolling.
Do you know how to read?
Sorry, guys. Just grab it.
Are you?
Sorry. Oh, I was thinking about sitting there, but.
Are you thinking?
Am I what?
Are you thinking about getting a tattoo for your 80th?
I was thinking about it when I was 75, but now I think I don't want to do it.
Why not?
Because I'm 80 and I don't want to be pretending that I'm a 16-year-old getting a tattoo or a ring on my nose or whatever.
What would you, if you were to get a tattoo?
Huh?
If you were to get a tattoo, what would you get? Have you thought about that?
A picture of a flower.
Yeah.
My favorite one is calla lily. Mm-hmm. So it would be white, and I would probably put it somewhere where you couldn't really see a lot of it, maybe right here.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, and I would put M on one side and M on the other. For M, Myles and Max, and Mary. Yeah. Three of them. Yeah, 3 M's. Maybe one on the top, in the middle. 3 of them. But I don't know where to do it.
Like
Myles?
on your body or where physically, like going out and getting a tattoo?
Well, I would have to go with you because I have no idea where to get a tattoo.
Yeah, there's plenty of places.
Where did you get yours? And do I have to have a consultation first?
Yes.
Why? But I'm an older person.
Yeah, well, they do a consultation so that the artist like knows what you want, and they talk about the ideas of the tattoo, and it's all very clear because it's obviously something that's permanent.
Oh, okay. Well, it's going to be permanent because I'm 80 years old. I probably, if I'm lucky, maybe another 10 years.
Yeah. See, tell us about old apartments or houses you've lived in.
I've had too many. Let me see, San Francisco, I lived in 1, 2, 3, 4 apartments in San Francisco in 4 years. And before that, I was at home. I was in San Jose with my aunt. And after San Francisco, there was Chula Vista, Fresno, Chula Vista, back to Chula Vista, and San Diego. And then we had a house in San Diego or Chula Vista.
When was that?
That was in 1972, I think. That's when we bought the house. And then after that, we were there for 3 years, and then we moved to Renton because that's where renters rented a house. Jennifer thought that that we lived in Renton because this is where renters lived. You know, Renton is a city, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's a rent. Yeah. So when she was a little girl, she thought that we moved there because it was for renters only.
Makes sense, yeah.
And then we moved to Issaquah, where we had a house built. And then we moved to Yakima 2 years later. And we were there for 4 years. And then we came back to Bellevue, and we bought a house in Bellevue. Lived there for 32 years. And then we sold the house, and we rented a house briefly in Briar, Washington, for 2 years. And then finally we moved here, and this is going to be our last place, maybe. Hopefully that I don't have to move out. What else?
Did you ever hear about Vince Guaraldi while you were living in San Francisco?
Oh yeah, I did.
Really?
Yeah, he played piano, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever see him?
No.
Oh.
No, I never saw.
Did you like his music or?
And, I can't remember whether I really liked it or not.
But he was part of the local scene.
Yeah, yeah. And then I lived in an apartment on Broadway, which is the same street that the hospital I worked in was. So the Broadway was just underneath the, what do you call it, the overpass. And when you went across the overpass or underpass, that's where all the nightclubs were, like the Purple Onion and the Purple Onion. And we saw Carol Doda. You know who Carol Doda is? Okay, she was very famous. She was one of the originals that came out with the big bazookas. Is that what you call them? Yeah. And we went to a lot of nightclubs there. One of them was Pinocchio's. Have you heard of that one? Mm-hmm. It's a gay show. Mm-hmm. They were just gay people that performed. I guess, what do they call it now? They don't call the transvestites. Is that right?
I don't know if that. Yeah.
The entertainers, that dress like women.
Sure.
Entertain. Yeah, I forget what they're called now.
Yeah.
But that was famous then. That's about it. What else? What else you got?
What do you wish to accomplish before you die?
What do I the one thing that I want to accomplish before I die is I want to get down to 110 pounds. That's my only goal.
What are you at now?
I'm not gonna. I got about 10 pounds to go.
All right.
I got about 10 pounds to go.
All right.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Yeah. There's a saying that a woman can never be too fat or too rich. Well, I'm not going to be ever too rich, but I can be too thin, right? What do you think, Max?
I don't know.
You think I should lose 10 pounds? Yeah, you should, yeah. You're supposed to say, if it makes you happy, abuelita. Yeah. Okay.
I've been hearing that for 50 years.
No, it was 5 pounds. Now it's 10.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
Let me see. Initially, I wanted to be a nurse, a teacher, but I was too lazy to really pursue it. When I graduated from high school, I was just ready to go out and have fun. And I was on my own when I was 17, working full time.
Were you in high school then?
Well, I graduated from high school, and then I went to work in San Jose. And I lived with my aunt, Lala, and I also lived with Helen and Fidel for about a year. That was when Vicky was a little baby, and she was my first little baby, my first daughter. The other nieces, I lived too far away from them to really be that close to them, so Vicky and I were close. I was close to Vicky, I should say. At the time, Vicky was, I think we'd ask her what her birthday was. When was her birthday? And she was the 30th of December. And for the longest time, I kept saying, when's your birthday, Vicky? And she would respond, 30th of December? And I said, yeah, the 30th. Yeah. What else about Vicky? There was something. Huh?
Any memories, Yeah.
Any memories of Vicky? Yeah.
Well, not necessarily Vicky.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, I remember that when she turned 1 month old, I went and bought her a cute little dress because it was her birthday. She was born the 31st, so on the 31st of January, I bought her a little dress. And I used to babysit her, not that much because your mom and dad didn't go out that much. But she was a doll. She was just like playing with a real live baby doll. Mm-hmm. I think I was about 21 years old. She was born. She was born 1958.
58,
Yeah, okay. 20 years old because I was born in 38, so I am 20 years older than she is. And I remember that when I was living there, I turned 21. You gonna hear this? Sure. At your mom's house. But a few friends of mine and I were gonna go to San Francisco to celebrate my 21st birthday. And then there was about one of the girls said, oh shoot, 'cause they picked me up at your mom's house. At your grandma's house. And one of my friends said, "Oh, I forgot my purse. I left it at your brother's house." I said, "Okay, let's go back." So we went back. I opened the door. Surprise! So we were never going to go to San Francisco. They had a surprise. Fidel and Helen and other friends that came celebrated my 21st birthday. So I had just as much fun on my 21st if I had gone to San Francisco.
Sure.
What else? How long is this going to be?
Just as long as you want to. We might have a few more questions.
Yeah, if you could be any animal, what could you be?
An animal, that is a, oh God, that's a hard one. Probably a cat. They're very independent. They don't have to be taken out. They eat when they want and they pee when they want, and Whereas a dog you gotta be more careful with him and make sure he doesn't poop on the rug. I guess I don't like cats, but if I was going to be an animal, I'd be a cat. And then I could just say,
Yeah.
Cats are really independent.
Yeah.
I think of myself as an independent person.
There are no more remaining questions. Does anyone want to ask any freestyle questions?
What animal would you be, Miles?
What?
This isn't about me.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
No.
Max, do you have any questions that you'd like to ask me? Of course not. You never talk.
Do you have any questions for Max?
Do I have any questions? No, because he won't answer. He'll say, yeah.
How sad.
Max, what kind of grades did you get the last quarter, semester?
Last quarter,
Or semester.
A's and B's.
A's and B's. Do you have any idea what you're going to be? What are you going to do for life?
No,
You going to get married?
I don't know.
You want kids? I don't know. See? That's,
I don't know.
and he's blushing. Okay. We don't have to talk to Max anymore.
All right.
Okay.
Anything you want to say to the viewers?
Friends and family.
Friends and family.
I guess the viewers that I love my family a lot. This guy and that guy over there. And my kids, my sisters.
I have a question.
Yes.
Who's your favorite grandson?
Let me see. It must be Marcello.
No.
Marcello? Paulo? No, I didn't mean that. I mean, I didn't mean that, but I have two grandsons that I love very much. They're both favorite. I love my oldest grandson because he was the first one, and I like the second one because he is cool.
Nice.
He looks like me more so than Myles. So they're both my favorite grandsons. I only have two, so I appreciate them a lot more. There were some questions that your mother, my mother, that Jennifer had that weren't in there. It was something about.
Anything else on there?
Is there anything else?
No, I saw them. I saw them on your
Phone.
your phone. Yeah.
Let's see. Looks like we got most of them. Accomplished before you die. Is it stop now?
No.
Nope.
Okay. I guess there was one about World War II being on your birthday.
Oh, I think everybody knows that story, but I'll tell it just in case you guys don't. You've heard it, huh?
Well, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
When I turned 7, it was 1945, August 7, 1945. My mom had a birthday party for me, and we invited some friends, little kids about the same age. And on the way, it was traditional to walk your guests home. It's a very small town, so you didn't have to walk very far. So on the way back, Virginia and I were walking home, and we saw the car horns beeping, and people were hanging out the windows. And I said, why are people doing that? And she said, it's because it's your birthday. And I said, oh wow, that's great. As it turned out, the war was over on that day. They had signed what was it?
Treaty.
Yeah, Japanese.
The Japanese surrendered, and they signed those papers on that day. So the war was over on August 7th, 1945, and my sister told me that people were honking their horns because it was my birthday. Did you know that?
Didn't know that.
Didn't know that. See, so you knew it because I've told you before.
How was it like living through the war?
Which one? I lived through two, 1, 2, 3, 4 already. There was a
Why
second.
don't you go through all of them?
The Second World War, I don't remember that much because I was only 7 when it ended. So, and then the next one was the Korean War, and I don't.
How old were you?
I was probably about 13, but they kept talking about the Korean War, and I had no idea where Korea was. And they were during that time they were talking about the atom bomb or the hydro. I think it was the atom bomb, and I kept saying, "Oh my God!" I was in 8th grade. I'm never going to be able to get to high school now. We're going to get bombed. I was so worried that because when you're 13 years old and you got 4 years of high school, you're looking forward to. And I thought that we were going to die before I had a chance to go to high school.
Yeah.
So that was my experience with the Korean War. My brother Pete, he went into the Air Force the same year that I graduated from grammar school, 1952, I think, 52 or 53. And he didn't have to go to Korea. He ended up going first to San Antonio for basic training. And then he was shipped over to Alaska, somewhere in Alaska, I can't remember. Anchorage? I think there's a base in Anchorage. And then he went to England, so he had a chance to travel a little bit before he got out of the service. And I was he would correspond with me, not with any of my sisters, but with me, because I answered his letters and I read them to my mom, and my mom would tell me what to tell him, so I would write to him. So I was always writing to your grandpa, all the time that he was gone. And I do remember, and I don't know if I should say this or not, but Fidel used to send Mom some money, from his paycheck. I don't know how much it was, and she put it in the bank. And that was a big argument that my dad always had with my mom. Well, why can't we spend his money? We raised him or whatever, and she never touched it. So that she wanted to save that money so when he got out of service, he could buy a car and get a job and blah blah blah. But my father was always saying, well, you have it in the bank, we need it, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? When I first started working after I graduated from high school, I used to send money home all the time too. She never saved it for me though. Why not? Because I was a woman?
Did she, so she spent it?
No, I sent it to her so she could spend, but Fidel also sent her the money so that she could spend it if she needed it. And my mom never said, well, here's the money that you sent me, you can have it now. I never thought about it until very recently. To me, it was just something that we all did. When we worked, we sent part of our money home to my mom and dad. And I think I used to get about $50 a week. That was late 50s. $50 a week, and out of that $50, I would give my mom 20, and I used to pay my aunt or my whoever I was living with 15 for room and board, and I had $10 left for myself. And I could buy a pair of shoes for $3. It wasn't bad. I still had money. I still had spending money, even though it wasn't until I got to San Francisco that I got to keep all my money. Because by that time, the girls, Celia and Lupe, were out of college, I think. They were in college. Maybe they hadn't graduated yet, but anyway, I stopped because my rent went up when I had my own apartment. Anything else?
She had one. She wanted to know, this is kind of a serious question. She wanted to know, why are you afraid of death? If you have some sort of answer for that, I don't know.
Why am I afraid of death? I used to be afraid of death, not so much anymore. I was afraid of death because if I died when my daughters were still young, I was worried who's going to love them or take care of them the way I do. Now that they've got their families and they're on their way to, it doesn't bother me anymore. I still don't I don't think I want to die now, But I'm not afraid of it anymore. I would rather live than die.
One more. What's your favorite thing about Steve?
The favorite thing about Steve,
But I promised her a divorce someday.
no, because I know that the one thing because I know that he loves me, and that he'll do anything to take care of me. And what else? That's about it. I mean, there's a lot of things, but those are the main ones.
Favorite.
Because most people get married and they don't have love. They have other stuff. They have things and
Gold digging.
gold diggers, you
all
know, and that's, you know, just love and respect, right? You better say respect. Okay.
Was Pete home when you got, was he already out of the service on your birthday when everybody's home?
Oh yeah. Because we.
Back from the Air Force, I mean,
You mean when I had my 21st birthday?
I guess.
Well, that's we were. They had the party for me. They gave the party. Fallon and Fidel surprised me
I see. He was there.
at their house. Yeah.
He was done with his service. So.
Oh yeah, he was already done with their service, and they only had Vicky at the time. So it must have been 1959. She was born in 58. You said? Yeah. So it must have been 1959.
Well, thanks so much. Thank
Okay.
you for answering. Really appreciate it.
Am I gonna get a chance to see it or hear it?
Yeah, it might be a while.
Okay.
There's a few things I'm working on these days, but yeah, we'll definitely we'll be able to see the video and together. Put it wherever you want.
Okay.
Thanks so much. Not necessarily. It was just kind of Jen said, "Hey, you know, why don't?"
Some questions that
Yeah.
I want you to record the answers.
Yeah. So we just decided you're probably next time I'm coming. So
Me?
yeah, maybe I don't know. We'll see.
I got nothing to say, man.
Nothing to say. All right. Well,
No pobrecito pendejo gringo de familia.
okay. That sounds like something to say. But yeah.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah. No. Thank you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, dang it.
Now, I guess I don't have to tell you guys that there's no clowning around when Myles is driving, okay? Don't
No
distract
covering his
him.
eyes or
Don't
anything.
distract him from his driving.
No.
Just good funny games, you know.
I'm sure he'll be
Punching him.
Well, if you ever want to watch this,
looking forward to that.
Invite me over.
call me up.
Like
You
Rita
wanna
was telling Marcello, we don't know anything about World War I.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you guys want to watch it, just call me.
Just keep it rolling. It might be awkward. Keep it rolling. All right.